This is a
Squad. What's up? What's up?
That ball is belted. Welcome in Carlos Gomez. Hello. Goodbye.
Oh man, yeah. We rockin' now. BS3 Sports. Okay. Sports news, get it first when you're getting off of work. Even when you're at work, acting like you're working hard when you're hardly working. I'm a maverick like Dirk, getting Franklins like Kirk. Hold up, boy. X-Squad, you don't know them boys? Being talking facts on every topic. Overall, we just talking noise, just being boys. Covering Texas sports in them tall hills. That with the fake pass over to Elliott. Better guard your grills like a car for real. Yeah, Cowboys gonna bring a bowl back, Lord, will it? Yeah, Mavericks gonna bring a ring back with Mark in it. We live sports, we talk sports, we dream sports, we eat sports. The teacher about to teach the course. Welcome to BS3 Sports. Gross. Oh man, yeah.
Welcome to the BS3 Sports Show right here on X Squad Radio. Man, we got a lot to talk about. Jason Witten coming back to the Cowboys. You're going to hear my opinion on that. Also, James Harden scoring 58 yesterday. We'll get into some NBA highlights. Bryce Harper finally signed his deal. And two great female athletes in the world of sports right now. Plus a lot more on the BS3 Sports Show today. I'm excited. Shout out to Said Galloway, Mocha Bella, always the first two in the chat room. Said Galloway is normally first, so much appreciated. But we got a great show. Planned. Shout out to the networks, No Phony Podcast Network, my fam over there. Also, X Squad Radio, which this show is on. You obviously know who they are. Also, if you want your very own BS3 Sports or shirt, definitely get at me. We still have those. They're still available in whatever color combination that you want or that you may be interested in. And the title of today's show is ESPN says no, Cowboys say yes. And let's all just be clear about this whole thing, that Jason Witten, was not doing a good job at commentating. He was not. It just didn't flow. It didn't seem like this was something that he was very good at. He had his opportunity to do it for a little while, and honestly, just didn't really work out. Now, I think maybe he may go back to it at a later point. I don't think he should. I think, honestly, at this point, it's a matter of him probably getting into coaching. But I believe ESPN told him, look, we appreciate you. We appreciate you doing some commentating a little bit during on Monday Night Football, but thank you, but no thank you. We appreciate your services that you did give us, but we rather not continue this relationship. And he came over to the Cowboys. He came over to probably, shout out to my coworkers listening. He came over to Jerry Jones and basically he said hey, I don't have anything to do next season. And just wanted to kind of see if you would like for me to, play again. And Jerry said, sure, how much money you want? And he is going to make $3.5 million. That's what the price is, that what his salary will be. Now, he could possibly make more than that based on incentives, based by week by week bonuses that he would get, and it could possibly total $5 million. Now, some people say, It's the leadership capabilities that he has. It's what he brings to off the field and what he brings in different situations. And look, I'm all good with that. But why put him on the field? Why have him sign as a player? Make him the tight ends coach. Shout out to JB Jennings in the chat room. Shout out to Mo Cheese. If you're tuning in and it's your first time, first of all, thank you. Second of all, you can join in on the show chat room by creating a profile with your Facebook, your Twitter, or your email, and you can join in on the conversation and what we're talking about. We're talking about Jason Witten right now. And honestly, just hire the guy as a coach. If you are so concerned about what leadership capabilities he can bring, hire him as a tight ends coach. Don't hire him and make him a player coach type of situation. And $5 million is a lot of money. We have other needs. We have other tight ends on this team that are better than Jason Witten at this point in time in his career. So with all that being said, I do not agree with this signing. I don't. If he could come on this team, and have leadership capabilities and be able to impact the team and all of that stuff by being a coach. That's what I would more so like for Jason Witten to be on this team and not a tight end on this roster. Because you have Blake Jarwin, who played fairly well. You have Jeff Swain. You also have Dalton Schultz, who you just drafted. So it's almost like you're hampering the rest of these tight ends because you want to bring old man Jason back again. And here's another reason why he wasn't on ESPN anymore. It's because of that spray-on toupee that somebody told him was a good idea to do. That's another reason why he's not on ESPN anymore. It was just not a good look. And I've been a Jason Witten fan, but over the past 5 years, if you watch football, if you watch any Cowboys games, Jason Witten is a factor because he was Dak's security blanket. He was a factor because of his blocking. But you mean to tell me all these other tight ends on the roster, you can't help duplicate the blocking? Shout out to Courtney Harden. Thank you for tuning in. JB says ESPN cut him and tried to save face. I mean, ESPN came, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I believe ESPN came to him and said, look, we tried this experiment. It did not work. You are free to do whatever else you want to do because we are not going to renew your contract. And yeah, pretty much in order for him to save face, you could say, he called up Jerry, or maybe he came to visit Jerry in his office, whatever. I'm pretty sure he came in the building. Stephen Jones was there at the front door, and he was like, hey, what's going on, Jason? He was like, nothing, man, just coming by to say hi. And he went into Jerry's office, closed the door, and said, I want to come back. And Jerry was like, okay, how much? And the deal was done. That's, to me, in my opinion, how that deal probably went down. Thank you, Courtney Harden, for tuning in. Big L in the building. He says Witten is back. Cowboys winning the Super Bowl now? I'm not saying that. Who will replace Witten in the booth? Good question, says Courtney Harden. I don't know. That is a really good question. We'll have to see how that pans out. But Witten coming out of retirement. First of all, when I heard that, my immediate reaction was, that is not true. That is not true. That's a false story. In the words of Donald Trump, fake news. That's fake news over here. That's exactly what I was thinking, that was fake news. But it was actually truth And I've got, 4 different sports apps on my phone. So if I say a source that told me it, that means it was ESPN, it was the Score app, it was CBS, and Bleacher Report. And they all came out with the same story. So at that point, I had to believe it, and I had to realize that it was not a fake story. So we will see Jason Witten suit up for the Cowboys this season. Shout out to Tyon Mack in the building. You know him very well. Listen, he's a frequent guest on the show. Tyon says he was trash in the booth. He was. I agree with that. I think a lot of people agree with that. Louis Riddick should be in the booth. I like that. I definitely like that. I thought it was false too, Trey. Can he still give something on the field? No, he cannot. He is going to be a player coach. And they're saying he's going to get 25 snaps per game. They're saying he's not going to play that much. But you're about to pay this guy $3.5 million. Do we really want Earl Thomas? Because if we really want Earl Thomas, that segue into this. Shout out to Melvin in the building, Bay 11 Auto, sponsoring the X Squad Affiliates contest, xsquadaffiliates.com/contest. You can win tickets to the Dungeon Family concert at the Fox Theater in Atlanta or Dinner for Two. So if you are not in Atlanta, still entering the contest because you can win Dinner for Two. So if the Cowboys really want Earl Thomas is not giving a discount. The story just came out a couple of hours ago or about an hour ago. Earl Thomas wants to be the highest paid safety in the league. He wants $13 million per year. To me, that is a lot. But Earl Thomas, what he brings on the field, I think would be better than Jeff Heath. I think it will be better than Xavier Woods. But I don't know if I'm truly willing to give up that much money when you have other needs that you have. Offensive line. You could also say defensive line with people leaving and people getting suspended, and you're not going to re-sign people. So $3.5 million is a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a guy that's going to play half the amount of snaps. He's going to be a Sean Lee type. And look, I'm all for Jason Witten being a coach on this staff. I said this a couple of minutes ago. If we are so happy, shout out to Denise Milk and Cookies and Holly Newsom in the chat room. If we are so concerned about what leadership capabilities he can bring, then just make him the tight ends coach and be done with it. So I was 100% confused. I'm going to be honest, when I seen that happen. And even we're here at work and we're looking at it like, oh, well, he's probably going to be a coach, right? And they're like, no, he's going to be a player. So this is the Dallas Cowboys, though. This puts them in the news. This has me talking about them. This has every station in the country, ESPN, Fox Sports, whoever else. It has everybody talking about them. And that's what you can say whatever you want to say about Jerry, but that is the genius of Jerry, is that he will get the news out there that will get the Cowboys being talked about, which helps people being interested in them, which helps them sell tickets, which helps him put money in his pocket. Say what you want to say about Jerry, but he is a marketing genius. And I was having a talk with Trey Frazier of the Barbershop Sports Talk. He was talking about Witten being the coach, Witten being the head coach. Shout out to ABM. Thank you for tuning in. Courtney Harden said the same thing. I don't think he's going to be a head coach of this team. I do think he could be the tight ends coach, maybe be offensive coordinator. But if Jason Garrett gets fired, I believe